Please welcome the technology and cyber expert from the greatest show of all time on WABC Radio in New York City, the CEO of TOS C3, Mr. Greg Hanna.
Slide rules, paper tape readers, disk packs the size of washing machines, mainframe computers, and green bar paper. Oh my goodness, I have seen it all. My dad was an electrical engineer, and he worked in major aerospace defense companies like Raytheon, Litton, and Sperry Rand. He even had patents. Now, he was a brilliant guy. So my dad morphed into a career in the very earliest days of the microcomputer industry when I was 6 years old. And I remember he took me to a major electronics trade show in New York City. And it was at this huge convention center. It was just the biggest thing I had ever seen in my life. And that trip was punctuated by a glorious stay at our cousins in Newark, New Jersey. And they had a chair that actually converted into a bed. I mean, if you want to talk about blowing a kid's mind, if that trade show wasn't enough with 10 million computers, that chair turning into a bed sure did it. And I was always fascinated by this stuff, especially when my dad would take me with him to his office. Now, I remember he built one of the very first microcomputers, and that thing used cassette tapes to record the data. And these cassettes were actually made out of metal. And the last time you saw a cassette, it was ABBA, the Doobie Brothers, whatever, right? That tape was a thin film plastic. This tape was a metal tape to record that data. And I remember him taking me to install that thing at a client's office. And this was like state-of-the-art, cutting edge. I mean, this is back in the days when I'd go to some of his clients, and they would have these huge mainframe computers. And he would type all kinds of things onto punch cards, and he'd feed them into a card reader. He'd push some buttons. And what would happen? Boom! This giant printer would start crunching and crunching and crunching. And when it was all done, there'd be this huge printout with a picture of Snoopy and the Red Baron, just for me, showing off the power of computer technology. But we really have come a long way, even though we've been obsessed with shrinking things, making them smaller and smaller and smaller. Today we're at a point where everything is basically invisible. And most of what I deal with takes place in the cloud or comes over the internet. And a lot of my practice is focused on helping businesses overcome the threat of cyber terrorism, and specifically ransomware. Now, one of my proudest accomplishments is my $1 million guarantee. As far as I know, we're the only company in the entire world to protect their clients up to $1 million against extortion by hackers and ransomware. We're able to do this because it's backed by Lloyd's of London. That's right. The world-famous insurance company wrote a custom special policy for any client I work with, protecting them up to $1 million against extortion by ransomware. But you know, I must be good if Lloyd's of London is willing to stand behind my guarantee. But I never expect to ever have to pay it out because we're just that good. But it's amazing to me how far the computer industry has come, all the way from slide rules, magnetic tapes, pictures of Snoopy and the Red Baron printed out on giant green ledger paper, being able to get anything done anywhere in the cloud, all the way to $1 million ransomware guarantees. It's an amazing world, and it's been an amazing ride over these past 50 years. I'm very appreciative to have had those experiences and to have had this opportunity today to share my story with you here at the Harvard Club of Boston.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.